Going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. I'm so happy to be back. I took a little bit of a hiatus. I apologize. I did not communicate at all that I was going to be doing so. Kind of unexpected on my end as well. I think I just had like a lot going on, and life just gets busy, right? So when I was thinking about posting, etc., things would just come up, kind of get in the way. And now I'm in a space where things are a little bit more calm, a little more put together. So I'm planning on uploading again. Just as a heads up, the format is going to be looking a little bit different. I'm going to do collective readings during the week. I'm going to try to go live 3 times a week. I'm still kind of working out what days those specifically will be. I'll also focus on moon cycle readings, main astrological events, etc. And then I will post the zodiac readings in the shorts. I just think it's going to be a little bit more balanced. But just so you have a heads up on what is going to be happening on my end. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. This is kind of a soft launch, just as a heads up. Don't hold me to my feet to the fire. I am learning to take my time, which I think is really appropriate right now anyway, just like with how the astrology is faring out. We often want to just kind of get to the next step, right? Like we kind of just like want the next thing to be happening. We want to be done and over with some of the learning lessons, etc. And sometimes, or a lot of times, it just really doesn't go that way, right? But I'm really liking what I'm seeing, even though we have been moving through a time astrologically where there just is a lot of shifting, a lot of change. We have a lot of those outer planets, in retrograde right now. Pluto did go direct since we last talked. It went direct a few days ago, actually. So it hasn't even been that long, but we're still kind of feeling the reverberations. We're still feeling the effects. And this is specifically focusing on what needs change, what needs a little bit more TLC, a little more attention in our life. And like I was mentioning earlier, it's not a quick change. It's not an immediate change that might feel a little more satisfying than what we have been having to come up against. So try to be patient, especially if you keep hitting a roadblock or a lot of obstacles. Try not to take it personally. There's a lot of water going on in the astrology right now, so it might be a little hard to do so. It's water and air predominantly. So basically, like our emotions, our feelings are fighting against our rationale. I kind of like that for us because it's giving us a little bit of a hall pass. Things have been emotional. Hey, I see you. Hey, I'm really glad. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate you, Bloomer Nana. It's so good to see you. Thank you for all your love and support. I just wanted to give a shout out to you because you've been so kind, so sweet, always just blessing my heart. And that's, I love the community. I love that we can kind of share in that together. So thank you. And thank you for being here always. Things have been rough, basically, is what I was saying, right? Like we've been kind of going through it a lot, and there's not a lot of clear-sighted picture or direction. Like sometimes it is just like whatever the next move is going to be. We have to make the best of it, or have that surrender that it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know. It's actually really forcing us to trust ourselves as well, right? Like trusting our instincts, trusting our intuition. Neptune is still in retrograde. It's moved into Aries. So it is a challenge against self. It's a challenge against how you think about yourself, what you believe, that like, do you trust yourself? I won't get more complicated than that. Sorry. I have a tendency to oversplain. But yeah, So we are being challenged. We're being challenged to trust ourselves more, and not in the way that we're not listening or paying attention, or, kind of like, I know this to be true. Like, we're not in a way that we're forcing our agenda or bulldozing ahead, but in a way that, like, we acknowledge that innate knowing, and then we allow the universe to show us, to bring in, maybe where there are gaps in the situation with the person, individual, etc. So kind of a long-winded intro. We are on a live, a little bit different format. I do like to start my readings off with an energy cleansing. It just kind of helps set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places where we might be feeling blocked, limited. It's a really great time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are just looking for more of a rebalancing of self and alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we have that strong foundation set for ourselves via wellness, self-love, self-care, that's really where we manifest our best life, right? That's where it doesn't mean that bad things stop happening or the things that are not so fun, not so comfortable, but we can navigate them way easier. And then we can also attract what we desire as well. So I would love to help support that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so it may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. All right, so new moon in Libra. We are at the tail end of Libra season, and Libra season is about partnerships. It's about relationships. We were coming from Virgo energy where, like I was talking about in the very beginning, there was this strong call to rebalance the playing field, like making sure that we were right within ourselves before we continued on, so to speak. And I feel like Libra season has been a continuation of that, but specifically focusing on our relationships again. I think there's been an overarching theme of, in the change, Pluto moving into Aquarius, a lot of the shifting, a lot of the changing that we're just seeing happen collectively. Of course, relationships are going to be in a strong focus because they're basically what, kind of dictate what our life is going to look like, how things are going to shake out, etc. So this Libra season has given us an opportunity to be a little bit more picky and choosy, to scrutinize some of those things, some of those layers, those dynamics that we have been facing that might not feel so good, right? Unfortunately, because things have been so hard lately, it is highlighting more of the negative, more of the shadow. I think this is astrologically coming from just like the huge shifting we're doing right now into the age of Aquarius, leaving behind some of those Capricorn mentalities of hard work, discipline, even just like hierarchies, the way power structures, all that stuff is really changing right now, you know, not getting into too much of the politics behind all that stuff, because it is quite messy, as you well know. But overarching energy for this new moon, we have strings. So there are some strings attached, right? Or we're seeing places where there are strings attached. That's not always a bad thing, because I think as we're figuring out, as we're getting a better understanding of like where and who we need to invest our time and energy into, there's also this remembering that nothing's perfect, right? There's always going to be credits and deficits. There's always going to be things we like and things we don't like. And it's not about claiming this idea of perfection. Sometimes in relationships, there are strings attached, and we need to kind of know what those strings are to know whether it's worth our while. There is this theme of stepping stones. Is it going to get you to the next step? It might not be the choice you want to make. I mean, obviously, I'm not promoting going against what you feel or anything that like would put you in harm's way or anything along those lines. But with this strings attached, I'm getting this like energy, this new moon of playing the game. So we're in the new moon of Libra. New moon gives us an opportunity to kind of set a new stage or rework something we're already dealing with. And it is about beginnings. It has more of that new venture around it. And we had a full moon in Aries, which was some of that fuel to start kind of empowering ourselves. Okay, like how is this actually going to look? How is this going to play out? And maybe even having that realization that not everything is going to work out in this neat and tidy way. And so maybe we need to be a little bit flexible when we are playing the game, so to speak. I think this is, I don't know, like, okay, I'm getting this energy. I'm getting a few different energies, but what I'm seeing first and foremost, we have eccentric, we have soul, and we have initiation in your overarching energy with the strings attached. So it really looks like you have some eyes on you lately. You have some eyes, like, and this it feels like people that have either been invested in you or in relationship with you or curious about you for quite some time. I feel like someone misconstrued you, especially with this eccentric card. Like maybe I'm getting this energy of them like thinking you were way worse than like maybe what you were selling yourself to be, or like that you were just lying or something along those lines. It has a bleak energy around it, right? Someone who wasn't really seeing you for who you were. And I feel like to that point, you kind of got a bad rap for it. But it also looks like you've changed how you've been doing things. Right now, we have some tense aspects in the astrology with Jupiter and Pluto. I should rewind a little bit. The new moon is actually going to be tomorrow morning-ish, depending on where you're located. So with that in mind, maybe that's not a huge deal. I just wanted to do a little side note. But with this Jupiter in opposition to Pluto, it's basically talking about how we're not doing it in the same way anymore. Whatever this is that kind of had like either a negative perception about you or just like wasn't feeling your vibes or whatever it was, a lot of excuses, fixating on something that wasn't really the truth, right? Fixation is in your blocked energy. And no shade to you, but I do feel like maybe you were playing into this a little bit. Maybe even on some level unbeknownst to you, because it kind of looks like someone's seeing you from a different perspective now, a perspective that I think makes a little bit more sense. Like they understand that like what they were looking at in regards to you actually wasn't really true. Like they were kind of seeing it from their own jaded perspective. I feel like, and this might even be someone who's specifically been playing games with you to see who you are, how you'll show up, how you'll react, how you'll respond. Let's get into this a little bit more. Because we have some energies who are really wanting your attention. And this feels like both new energies and old energies. Exactly kind of this vibe that we're seeing with the new moon in Libra, where relationships definitely are in focus. Venus is in Libra right now as well. It's on the opposite end, so it's not in conjunction with the new moon. But it's, you know, it's the gentle reminder that like we want to maintain partnerships, relationships with people that like feel good to us, that feel like home, that feel like love and nurture. It again doesn't mean that everything has to be perfect, but there needs to be some level of reciprocity and communication and getting along, etc. And you know, I feel like you've had your fair share of people who have not really been able to do that. King of Cups is our first energy coming through. Doesn't look so happy. Well, and this kind of goes back to that emotional component. Excuse me, that smoke was getting in my throat. This goes back to that emotional component. You know, that kept popping up in the very beginning. Someone getting a little bit too emotional, right? Like I said, seeing the error of their ways. And I feel like maybe not really knowing what to do about this quite yet, because it kind of looks like their emotions, like I said, they get the best of them, but it also looks like they have a really hard time controlling them, which is what I just said, right? But it's also this value of like, they also struggle to see that or see how they could have handled things better, how they could have reined it in. You might have gone through a long cycle with this person just kind of popping off left and right. They are coming in with the star though. So they're promising this level of healing. And again, some of it or a lot of it is because of maybe the example that you've been for them. It has a positive, I think whomever, whatever you're dealing with is looking at it from a positive light. Are you? I don't know. It looks like you're throwing someone a bone. It looks like, well, let me see if this is new. Okay, yeah. Well, you're getting smarter about something is what I'm seeing through this. So this might be a restart with someone. I don't know if it's like you're getting back into something because it still feels like you're keeping everything at arm's length. I get this energy of wanting to remain guarded, like you're willing to give a little bit of something. Two of Cups energy. But Two of Cups is, yeah, it's attraction, it's excitement, it's anticipation. It doesn't just have to be love. It can be love, but it's not a commitment, right? It's not like throwing all your eggs in one basket. It's saying like, ooh, this is exciting and let's see how this goes type vibe. It also, in your energy, comes with a lot of heaviness. We have the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. Either there's a lot of water under this bridge, or you yourself are coming from a lot, you know, just a heavy, heavy time. And King of Cups, this energy, we have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, Aquarius with the star. Someone healing from their own stuff, right? Especially if this is a new energy. If this is a new energy, this has been someone who's kind of like taken a long time to come around. I feel like they've had their own, again, perceptions on who and what you are. And so they are afraid, they are nervous, they are hesitant, but it's not about you. It's actually about them. Maybe that goes without saying, but I don't know. I don't know that they'll admit that to themselves, I guess is what I want to say. No shade to them. But, you know, it does feel like there is a little bit of history here to whatever capacity that is. And there might even be some assessing going on right now as you engage, as you interact with this person. Okay, there's that Page of Wands popping up for us again. So this is someone who is not very committed. When I was talking about their emotions getting the best of them, it's been something that's actually like really limited them in their life. Because instead of like staying and working something through, they're already like on to the next thing. This is something that they're trying to rein in a little bit more, but it also looks like, again, I feel like they're having a really hard time acknowledging this part of themselves. It often gets a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blame, a lot of projection onto other people. Is this a new dynamic for you? This might be for some. I don't know. It looks like two sides, right? For some of you, it might be this like ending of something that has taken a long time to get here. For others, it is a new beginning with this Page of Wands. But that's the second time this combination, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, has come up. And this really does speak to a lot of immaturity. Like, and I feel like this is even some of the energies that are coming towards you that you do have to be mindful of. But just because someone's immature, I mean, if they're doing shitty things, then please protect yourself, but if it's just like a little bit off-putting or, whatever, it's just kind of like they say something really immature or whatever. There is this energy of to not sell it short. Because we're not getting everything instantaneously, there's this need to believe that, it's not my path. It's not for me. Where we're kind of being shown exactly where we need to be right now, even if we don't like it. And that might be where some of this Ten of Swords, Five of Pentacles is coming through for you, because like you're really ready for like that next step. And honestly, and I've kind of heard this as well from other readers on YouTube, astrologically, like we're really not going to get a whole lot of momentum until like end of this year, beginning of next year. Like we're not really, we have those planets in retrograde. It's so much of a spiritual evolution for us as individuals, really kind of forcing us to like dig deep and be a little bit better and be very cognizant and aware of the lessons that we need to be learning. Like, what's the point of this situation? Why am I dealing with this dynamic? Especially as those patterns keep popping up a little bit more readily. And it looks like this King of Cups, whomever, whatever, it's coming around again to highlight some of this for you. Again, whether it is coming from past people or whether this is something that you have to sniff out from someone new coming towards you. There is a little bit of this karma playing out right now, right? Like Virgo, we have the South Node in Virgo right now. And so it's almost it is very easy to, kind of get lost in our own wellness or taking care of ourselves, like almost to the fault that like you're not doing anything else, or just being very self-protective is a good way to do that. Even if you're not like, doing all this self-care all day long, it's this value of like procrastinating so much, making the excuse that you're like kind of doing something good, but really it's actually disguised as procrastination. And so that's where we have to make sure that we're not, like I said, giving up on something too quickly. Jupiter is not loving what's going on. Jupiter right now is in Cancer, and it's not really loving how things are playing out. Yes, there is some hope. I think Scorpio season is going to bring us a little bit of reprieve. I don't know. I want to say that and then I end up like shooting myself in the foot, So we get the Empress closing out in the King of Cups energy. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. It looks like whatever this connection is, it's like it is starting something. It's starting something. I feel like it's actually like opening the door to new life. Let's look at, I want to look at the strings attached real quick. What is this about? We have 7 of Wands, so resilience, needing to wait, seeing things from a different perspective, Temperance. I feel like there is something about like maybe needing to give someone the benefit of the doubt, even if it's not what you want, or perhaps like how long something has taken. Because there's been some dead space, like there's been these periods where nothing really is happening, or we feel like we're doing all the right things and so something should happen and it's not. It's not penalization. 4 of Pentacles. It's ways that like, I think, again, like we're all kind of hesitant. We're all kind of hesitant because relationships have been so messy. So we've been dealing with people who are like lying, backstabbing, saying one thing to our face, the other thing to other people, whatever. You know, there's just like a lot of messiness, right? People are acting very, very messy. And so sometimes we can like believe that because that's happening to us, that like we're somehow feeding into it or being punished, being penalized, karma, right? Like all that kind of stuff. And it's not really how it's coming out. I feel like actually some of this has just been for the information that you've gained, for the purpose of what this has brought. How you're going to be able to move forward now in life. The end has closed out, right? Even if some of this is still lingering. Like what I'm seeing is you know your decisions, you know your choices, and you know which way you're going to go. You might have some people that are kind of coming in to maybe see where you're at, trip that up a little bit, but it's not affecting you in the same way. It's not affecting you as it once did. And I think that's part of this strings is like, this to me is more like the energetic component from spirit that's just saying, you know, like sometimes you have to wait for things. Sometimes things do have to like sort themselves out. Everything has to be in order, right place, right time. It feels like it's moving towards that, right? And as we're doing that in the process, it's reminding us to release and let go of some of these unhealthy fixations. Whether it's on a person, whether it's wanting someone to apologize or do right or whatever, I don't know. Like, I never cease to be surprised how people act and behave, you know? I don't, yeah. I mean, and whatever, like we all have our stuff. I'm not throwing shade, but once upon a time, maybe there was like decency and manners. It seems like some of that is just like non-existent anymore, you know? But that's part of this process. The Hound, loyalty, chains, promises. Why are we giving certain people, situations, loyalty? And a lot of this, I feel like, especially with the chains, it's like breaking those chains, right? Breaking those chains of confinement. It's important to like stick through or, you know, commit for sure. There's value in that. But not in the sense that it's going to hurt you, that it's going to harm you, right? And so we're kind of in this place where we're moving on from that, where we have some new lessons that are coming in. It's about getting a little bit more comfortable with yourself right now. Remember that Venus in Libra is really going to help us, especially when it comes to, you know, like to our relationships. Who do we love being around? Like, I think that's just like the easiest way to know whether someone's good for you or not, right? And part of this, I think, is also about like getting connected with yourself in the way that like, you're not surrounding yourself with a bunch of yes people, but you're surrounding yourself with people who like love and accept you and like love and accept your truth and what you have to say and the way you express. And I feel like this is a lot about tapping into some inner strength that might not be easy. I don't know. I think one of the downsides that I'm seeing, like as we are moving through this new moon and as we're going into Scorpio season, right now we have Mars, Mercury, and Black Moon Lilith all on top of each other in Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So sometimes Mars and Pluto. So there is a fiery component to Scorpio energy, right? Like you can see it a lot when you do a Scorpio wrong. There's a lot of backlash from that. So there can, and I feel like as we are gaining a lot of clarity or we're learning about people, about relationships, about dynamics, it's making it way easier to cut people off. That's where that Jupiter and Pluto is coming into play. But Mars can be a little bit too hasty. We've been having that overall theme to move consciously, move slowly. And right now it's more about not moving too slow, that you're taking too much time. So again, finding that fine line between actually okay, I'm going to maybe not push myself super hard or force my agenda, but I'm going to know what my agenda is. And then when certain opportunities come up, I can go back to whatever that agenda is, say, okay, well, what decision corresponds with how I want this to play out? That's what it looks like other people are doing to you. Again, I think that there's a lot of eyes on you right now. I'm hearing what your next moves are going to be. You look like you're in a patient energy right now. You look like you're willing to take your time, especially as this Two of Cups. Yes, you see what's good. Yes, you see the good offer on the table. You accept it, even if it's from someone you don't like. Even if it is, like I said, a collaboration that's more of a stepping stone again, it's about seeing that bird's eye perspective. Sorry, I got caught in my own thoughts. But like I said, it looks like you're waiting. It looks like you're waiting in terms of taking it slow. You're looking back at the past. You're looking at what has transpired, and you're being wiser, smarter, more put together around it this time. Okay, so interesting. I didn't even look at this card per usual. The Archer. Biding your time, planning ahead. So that's exactly what the Archer does, right? He's going to be strategic about what moves he makes. He's going to make sure that his eye is on, excuse me, I keep losing my voice, sorry. That his eye is on the prize or on that bullseye, right? On the target. And like I said, I'm getting a little bit of this energy of we might have to be flexible. We might have to compromise a little bit in an area that maybe we thought we wouldn't. But again, as long as it's not harming yourself or someone else or whatever, maybe see where that takes you, right? We're in a time where it's it's good to be curious. Chiron is in Aries right now. So invest in yourself, heal yourself, be the better version of yourself, challenge yourself, overcome those fears, those things that have kind of been keeping us small and limited, i.e. that South Node in Virgo. Those are the things that Spirit, Universe, God, however you understand it, is really asking us to overcome. Don't expect things to come through this channel. Broaden your horizons, broaden your options, your opportunities, and be surprised as to what channel it comes through. Because it definitely looks like whatever this King of Cups is, I'm feeling this is newer energy. I think you have some old stuff popping up, but it's maybe on your back burner. It's not in the forefront of your mind. This is someone you're going to have to be patient with. And again, take care of yourself, safety first, all that good stuff. But it definitely has this air of just as much as you're kind of keeping your arm's length, right? Making sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes or get back into something you don't really want to be a part of. So is this person as well, you know? I think it's hard for them to come around. I think it's hard for them to kind of like connect with you for some reason. There might be gossip. There might be hearsay. Again, I see like a little bit of a construe or I don't know what that word is, but not seeing you incredibly clearly, but they're starting to get this awareness. They're starting to get this understanding. And I feel like it is actually kind of like putting something really beautiful on the horizon, on the potential. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the reading. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I super appreciate you. I appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Again, I super apologize that I have been MIA, that I have been a bad communicator. I feel really guilty about that, if you can tell. But just know that I love the channel. I've been missing the channel. I've been missing you guys so much, and I appreciate all the love, all the support always. And know that I'm sending all the love and blessings back to you. Thank you. I missed you guys too, Serendipitous. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. I super appreciate you guys. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for all the love and support. It means so much to me. All right, have a good one.